Hello, and welcome to this week's Movie Math, where I can't believe it! The movie theater companies have missed the forest for the trees yet again, or whichever way that saying goes. But I just can't believe they keep not understanding what the problem with their product is. So what's the latest example? National Cinema Day this Saturday, which has been announced with the utmost seriousness instead of the ridiculous situation that it is. So in over 3,000 theaters, you will be able to see a movie for just $3. And we're talking all day, any movie that's playing at the theater in any format, including premium. And they'll have a sizzle reel all day long playing with those movies, featuring upcoming films that they hope that you'll pay to see in theaters at full price. As we keep telling them, it's not really the price that's the issue, it's the quality of the experience. And let me say, anyone who pays just $3 to walk into a movie isn't going to value that experience. I foresee a Saturday of theaters jam-packed with people talking on their phones, talking to each other, being on their phones, tons of screens, like little phone screens as far as the eye can see, people getting up and leaving during a movie or walking in. It's going to be pandemonium. I think it's a really bad idea. I'm curious what you think. If you think National Cinema idea is a keeper or a ridiculous suggestion. But I do have to say, though, $3 for just 11 more minutes of more fun stuff in Spider-Man No Way Home might be just about the right price point. So if you're thinking of seeing that this weekend, maybe you want to go on Saturday. Although maybe you don't want to go on Saturday if you're, again, concerned about the quality of that experience. If the event is successful enough, they're saying they might make it an annual event, I guess like Free Comic Book Day. But I feel Free Comic Book Day, while it was really cool the first couple of times they did it, has also really lost its luster. So I don't really have much faith in this. But we'll see what happens. I wonder how Sony feels that they decided to do this that weekend. Maybe they're like, yeah, it is only 11 more minutes. Let's do it. Or they're like, dude, I was trying to get to 2 billion. What are you doing to me? Can you at least make it Sunday? All right, so as for this weekend's box office, yikes. It seems like Hollywood ain't even trying. So I guess that's why movie theaters are just so desperate to try this ploy next weekend. But what the heck is The Invitation? And if Natalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones and Fast and Furious franchise is in your movie, how is she not on your poster? But maybe she didn't want to be on the poster. Maybe she was like, that's cool. I mean, this is clearly trying to be another Ready or Not, but Sony clearly did a bad job trying to copy one of Fox Searchlight's final releases before Disney consumed them, much like a horror movie. And sure enough, Idris Elba, as we predicted last week, has 2 flops a week apart. Man, that's embarrassing. Somebody needs a new agent, and it's Idris Elba. Although who would expect working with George Miller and Tilda Swinton to be such a misfire? As Dan Lin seems poised to take over DC Films, interest in Miller's Justice League movie that almost was, which Lin was overseeing for Warner Brothers, peaks again. But who's to say that would have been any good? Maybe we dodged yet another bullet when it comes to DC. Sure, Mad Max Fury Road was absolutely brilliant, but don't forget Miller's other movies. Even his successful ones don't seem like a fit with DC. And the industry is kind of cheesed with Amazon because they put Sylvester Stallone's latest, his low-budget take on the superhero genre, Samaritan, on Prime Video instead of theaters. They say it's also in theaters, but I couldn't find any theaters where it's playing. And they got the film by acquiring MGM, who had Samaritan slated purely for theaters. Critics hate it, but audiences seem to think it's not bad. And Stallone still opens pretty good, even with his lower films. And it did better than his films, his recent only single bases. The baseball terminology escapes me. Single hitter, right? I mean, these aren't home runs, but they're better than anything that opened this weekend. Interestingly, Stallone's wife filed for divorce this past week, totally blindsiding him, and saying that the reason she's filing for divorce is that he's squandering the family fortune and asking the court to intervene and stop him from losing any more of the family assets. Maybe that's why he's been so hysterical about the Rocky rights recently. He needs money. He needs money. All right, so he says he doesn't, but this is pretty interesting. And his behavior has been unusual with the Rocky stuff. All right, as for box office milestones, Top Gun Maverick is just about 10 million away from overcoming Black Panther on the all-time domestic list. That's just 10 million, just 10 million. Well, Jurassic World Dominion is just 10 million away from the $1 billion club. Now, Top Gun Maverick had a lot of its wind taken out of its sails, or gas taken out of the tank by going on digital this week, but it's still pulling in millions of dollars at the box office. And with the holiday weekend coming up, and then also Jurassic World Dominion having cash trickling in from across the globe, I think both of them could maybe make up that $10 million difference. Let's see. In the specialty market, Rogue One did very respectable numbers on IMAX with a special Andor sneak peek attached. I know some of you saw it and said it looked pretty good. It has a better per theater average than any movie in the top 10, and usually the first 2 or 3 movies in the top 10 should have the best per theater averages. Spanish language movie The Good Boss failed to connect in the art house circuit, but critic and audience scores are incredible. This looks good to me. I'm gonna watch this on streaming for sure. I think it could do quite well on streaming. And with those kind of scores and that cool look for Javier Bardem, he looks awesome. It could be another potential Best Actor nomination for him. He's had a lot of noms, but he won Best Supporting back in 2008 for No Country for Old Men. And while John Boyega got a ton of headlines this week promoting his new movie, he couldn't crack the top 10. I appreciate his hustle, but you're not going to Disney Plus me. That's going to haunt him for the rest of his career. Over on streaming, as always, let's start with Nielsen, where for the end of July, Netflix dominated the originals chart. Hoo boy! With only Chris Pratt's The Terminal List for Amazon showing how valuable that show is, because, it dropped all at once, so it's still going. And Hulu's Only Murders, a weekly release, breaking through. The Boys, sadly, after an incredible run and 2 weeks of afterburn in the top of the top 10, top 5, it then totally dropped off the list. I'm surprised it's not like hanging around at 8 or 9 or even 10, but it's out. With movies, Netflix had to evenly split this top 10 with Disney Plus, but at least they got the top half. No big new movies here this week, but the same incredible, consistent performers. Wow. Really strong performers across the board. These are streaming movie superstars. Over on Netflix's own charts for just last week, Jamie Foxx held onto the top spot with Day Shift, while Lily Reinhart flexed her own star appeal with a second-place debut. With shows, The Sandman is still number 1 for the 3rd week, but its numbers are no longer a dream like they were in week 2. Fans, and even Neil Gaiman himself, continue to be on pins and needles to see if Netflix will renew the incredibly expensive show. That's right. Was this the week that they put the extra episode out? I think it might have been. So it didn't give it too much of a boost, the surprise episode 11. But this show is incredibly expensive. And they just canceled Resident Evil. So hopefully they'll make a decision with yay or nay with Sandman in the next week or so. Michelle Monaghan has the glimmer of a hit outside of the Mission Impossible movies, where she's kind of in them, as her new series debuted in the middle of the pack, while everyone who's been watching the first 3 seasons of Manifest on Netflix for the past month or so just got their faith rewarded, as today they announced with a new trailer that Manifest Season 4 will debut November 4th, made exclusively for Netflix, who rescued the fan favorite show from NBC. This could have been you, Peacock! This could have been you! A little bit more on Peacock later. They're desperate for pay subs, apparently. All right, on iTunes, Elvis has fallen considerably from the top spot after 2 weeks, which must be why HBO Max just announced that they'll be finally getting the movie for Labor Day weekend. At no extra cost to subscribers. Watch it with commercials if you want. Okay, of course, the Top Gun Maverick, which just hit digital, has the top spot, along with the combo pack and even Minority Report, Tom Cruise movies on sale, baby, also making the top 10. I'm real curious to see if this Tom Cruise glow-up, powered significantly by conservatives who look what they're doing for Chris Pratt over on Amazon, I wonder if this will benefit the latest Mission Impossible movie next summer. Can it last that long? A franchise that's never been able to get over into 800 million. It can't get an 8 in front of it globally, much less a billion like Top Gun Maverick did. And those Mission Impossible movies are sensational. I mean, so is Top Gun Maverick. But the last two Mission Impossibles, oh my God, so good. I can't believe they didn't do better. And a new batch of recent theatrical releases are thriving, with Nope in second place. And that's great. You can't compete with Top Gun Maverick. That's a phenomenon. But I'm really happy for Nope. Please watch that movie. It's so good. And DC League of Super Pets, not available on HBO Max yet, is in 4th place. I think it'll do even better on HBO Max. That's not really a movie you pay for, but you do watch it for no extra cost, I think. As for this coming week, it's a huge holiday weekend here in the United States. Summer's last hurrah! And a lot of people are going to be outside, but they're also going to need something to watch, and Hollywood wants to entertain you. In theaters, again, Saturday, just $3 tickets. Spider-Man No Way Home, more fun stuff cut, hits with just 11 extra minutes, and wasting some of them with stuff like Tom Holland's brother's cameo. Are you kidding me with this? He climbs the wall at the gym. We want more Andrew and Toby. Universal is putting Sundance's Honk for Jesus not only in theaters but also on Peacock Premium because, as I said, word is they're desperate for pay subs, which is why they made that recent decision with Halloween Ends. And you can even see The Rings of Power in theaters if you can get yourself to a Cinemark. Get thee to a Cinemark, who will screen the first 2 episodes exclusively on Wednesday for free, including a free snack if you sign up for the Cinemark Rewards membership. Either if you're already signed up or you could sign up now. It's all good. The rest of you will have to wait until Thursday when the first 2 episodes drop early at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Amazon Prime usually drops their stuff early, but they told me when they gave me the screeners that they're going to drop them at midnight otherwise on Thursday, midnight. Not 3 a.m. They're not going to do a 3 a.m. drop, but they will try and stick to a midnight release. But for the first 2, you can watch them Thursday night. The review embargo lifts Wednesday morning. Also on the small screen tonight's the MTV Video Music Awards. Yeah, that's still a thing. And they usually have some pretty good performances, so it's worth having on in the background or at least recording if you're fans of any of these performers. Who will include Bad Bunny, Lizzo, Eminem and Snoop Dogg, K-pop's Blackpink, co-hosts Nicki Minaj and Jack Harlow, plus more. That sounds pretty promising. Also, I'm sure a lot of it will be on YouTube tomorrow. Or will it? It's MTV. Like the Grammys, like they want you to watch, their stuff. But I think MTV is pretty good at getting their content out there. Tuesday is the debut of Hulu's The Patient with Steve Carell and Domhnall Gleeson. AMC Plus gets animated with their first animated show, Pantheon, on Thursday. And then as for Netflix this week, Umbrella Academy's Tom Hopper gets a rom-com movie on Thursday, while Friday is big. Bowen's Emily Deschanel is back with a new crime series, Devil in Ohio. There's a reality show, Dated and Related, where pairs of siblings enter this dating competition, and you see if it's awkward or awesome to have their sibling be their wingman or wingwoman. These dating shows, these romance dating shows are very popular, so let's see. Spanish language series, You're Nothing Special. And if you like the children's book series, Ivy and Bean, you're not just getting 1, you're not just getting 2, but you're getting 3 live action movies all dropping on Friday. So that's this week's Movie Math. What have you been watching? What do you plan to watch? And what do you think of these end of summer box office numbers and charts, streaming charts? Share your thoughts down below, subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.